What is your absolute favorite food?
No! Miso ramen. I never order miso ramen.
That curry near the mountaintop tasted of tears and dreams. Hey guys and girls on Ash Japanese, it's your flashy fashion reporter Kathy Cat, and today we have come to Evo Japan, the world's biggest fighting game tournament, and there are some cosplayers who have come from all over the world to this event. We want to know, what is your favorite Japanese food? So let's go and ask foreigners in Japan. Favorite Japanese food?
No! Too predictable! I'm just kidding, I actually love sushi.
Yeah, sushi, everything, different kinds of the fish. She likes the salmon a lot, like fresh salmon.
Ooh, salmon's nice. I'm more of a tuna person, if I'm honest. Like the really dark tuna. Yeah, tuna bolas. I recommend that if you're just getting into sushi, if you want to try raw fish, but you're doing it for the first time, I 100% recommend tuna. I know tuna and salmon are quite popular for starting off, but I'd say tuna. Like Lucas tried tuna in Japan and he loved it, and he said he would never ever try raw fish, and he loved it, trust me.
What is your absolute favorite food? And explain to me what it tastes like.
Zero tori ramen.
What's that? Nani kore?
Oh, what, salty chicken ramen?
Heavy flavor.
Yeah.
What's heavy flavor? What? Nani? I'm excited about it. Like, do you know what? I love chashu ramen. Tonkatsu. Yeah, I'd say tonkatsu ramen has a heavy flavor. Like it's deep and rich and flavorful. If it's anything like that, I'm on board. I gotta try this.
So you like it for the heavy flavor?
Yes.
They will make the ramen like fusion flavor. They will make
Fusion flavor. That sounds like a ultimate move or something. Fusion flavor.
they will make some Hong Kong people's flavor and with Japanese flavor. So it's like what the taste is like that. It's so curious.
What's your favorite Japanese food? If you can only pick one. Miso ramen.
Ew, no! Boring! No, I'm kidding. It is like a ramen that I never order actually. If I can help it, I never order miso ramen. Just because I want something with heavy flavor.
Ooh, my favorite Japanese food is nikomaki.
Nani kore? I'm gonna have to look this up. ちょっと待って。面白い. That looks kind of weird. おかしい. What is that? Meat wrapped onigiri. Oh, okay.
The meat wrapped onigiri that you get like at like stalls, especially with like cheese on top that's like been like seared. That's my favorite food. Anytime I see stalls, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get one.
How do you find it? Because that's not that easy to find.
Well, I know that usually like if there's like, you know, a lot of cherry blossoms going on or like some kind of like festival at a temple, they're gonna have it. So I'm like, oh, that's where you look for.
Why is the biggest Japanese food?
This goes back because I play a lot of the Yakuza games, and in there you have to eat in order to get your health. And takoyaki was always on the menu. It's my favorite one, so I went there and ate takoyaki, and it's absolutely delicious.
Okay, yeah, I love takoyaki. Though, saying that, I had a weird experience in Japan. Like, I didn't really expect it to be so runny in the middle. Like, if you've ever lived in the UK, if you're from England or anywhere in the UK, maybe you relate to this, that we overcook our food. We really do. We don't serve anything that's like runny or mushy in the middle normally. Like normally that's a sign that it's like you're gonna get food poisoning. Literally growing up, your parents will overcook. If you have anything egg related or chicken related or like any batter in the middle, like you overcook it. Like it's just the rule. I don't want to die. But in Japan, they were okay with stuff like that. And when I tried it, it was just like I picked it up with my chopsticks and it all went like splashed out onto the plate. And I thought takoyaki was gonna be like not cooked in the middle, but firmer at least, like when you bite into it. So the first time I tried it was a little bit weird for me. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. It was very hot in the middle. I like be careful. It was different to what I expected, so that was surprising. I definitely loved takoyaki.
It was absolutely fantastic. Just like I may have burned myself on my tongue because I was so eager to eat it, but it was such a good one.
Honestly, be careful. Apunai. Takoyaki can be aggressive.
What's your favorite Japanese food?
Onigiri, especially like different variations of onigiri. Soy sauce flavored and like oh my god, like tomato flavored rice.
Tomato flavored rice. I was really confused by that for a second, but then I'm thinking back to when I was in Japan. There are quite a lot of different varieties of onigiri. If it means the one I'm thinking of, like I've seen different like tomato flavored rice with the like egg on top or like spam, or like they have different shapes. They're not always like the triangle shape. Unpopular opinion, bonito onigiri is the best. Just don't even question it, okay? It's the best. I know it sounds boring and I'm not normally like the kind of person to have like simple flavors, but it's so nice, like such an umami flavor. I don't know. Underrated, I think. I think a lot of people go on about like tuna mayo, the salmon. The salmon one is really, really good. Like they're so generous in Japan. If we sold onigiri here, it would not be that generous. Like don't even get me started. There would be like a flake in the middle.
They have a lot more variations here than here in America, like the green tea flavor.
That's so true. Things aren't overly sweet. I know I say it in every video. The flavors, like they're not just reliant on sugar.
What is your food that you really like in Japan?
Well, it's hard to say because there's a lot of amazing Japanese food.
I feel triggered. I don't know why. He's weirding me out.
There's a lot of amazing Japanese food.
Or maybe it's too serious. I can't take serious people. I get intimidated.
I had amazing ramen and also the tonkatsu and takoyaki, but I think one of the best experiences I had was ikinari steak.
Do you know what? I'm not a steak person. I think it's just a lot of chewing for no reward. I love gyudon though. That's beef.
In restaurants, they don't serve you big portions like some of the countries, but they serve you tasty portions.
I don't know about that. Sometimes they do have surprisingly big portions compared to what I expect, and we're actually kind of generous in some places. So I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe in general.
And this is quality over quantity. I really like it.
If you were in the mood for Japanese food, what would you go for?
Nekitomo.
What is that?
So it's like minced tuna with onion and some like seasoned rice. So I'm a bit shiso for now.
I need to look this up. Wait, I'm making a list. I love food. Nikomaki looks scary. I don't know about it. It looks too scary for me. Kawaii. Nekitoro don. Oh, oishiso. Mecha oishiso. This looks like my kind of food. I love tuna and I love like tuna bowls. Kaisen don. I feel like I might dribble a little bit. Oh my gosh. I feel like for someone who's never had Japanese food before, if you gave them this, they would be terrified. It does look a little bit scary for people who aren't used to that sort of texture wise, but it looks delicious. I'm gonna try this. I wonder what part of the tuna it is. It looks unusual, like not in a bad way, it just looks different.
Shiso for now.
Does anyone know what shiso leaf tastes like? Slight citrusy notes.
Yeah, I'm really hungry right now. I haven't really eaten much today because
Fitting in the cosplay.
Ow. This is the most relatable thing I've ever heard in my entire life. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. You treat yourself to a really good meal right now. If it's any consolation, it's working. She looks fabulous, like, snatched.
What is your favorite Japanese food?
I think teriyaki.
No! Teriyaki is the devil. Sugar's the devil. Now I'm in my 30s, all I seem to do is avoid sugar. So when I see teriyaki, I'm like, ja-ja! Like, stay away at all costs. It's so delicious. It's just not something I would regularly order. I'm gonna have to relax. Just indulge. Everyone should just indulge, just treat yourself. We deserve it.
Not used to sushi, like cold food, so I like things cooked.
So are you gonna go grab some teriyaki sometime?
I'm actually really hungry right now because I've been walking all day.
Everyone's really hungry in this. This was like the worst idea. It's like torture. Gone to a cosplay event where nobody's eaten because they want to look good. Oh, that's so sad. Kawaiso. They all deserve a really good meal, it sounds like. This has nothing to do with the video, but just trust me. Meet that.
lot of Japanese foods you need to try. Yes, takoyaki, okonomiyaki, shabu shabu. Go for all the foods. Go for sushi. Try everything. I even had crickets.
Maze.
The best food I ever had in Japan is the most simplest. It wasn't the wagyu, which also is delicious, but it was actually curry on top of Mount Fuji. I climbed up Mount Fuji, and that curry near the mountaintop, it tasted of achievement.
I knew it. I knew. It tasted good because she was starved. Food always tastes better when you're like really hungry. The curry was probably like really ordinary, but by the time you got to get to the top, it's like best meal of my life.
Tasted of tears and dreams and the hot climb, and it tasted so good. And try everything at least once, unless you're allergic to it.
Even if you're allergic, persevere for Japan. No, please don't. Please don't. I agree. I would definitely try everything in Japan. I love food. And even if it's something that I'm kind of like skeptical about or nervous about trying, I'd still want the experience of doing it. Like, I definitely tried a few things in Japan that I didn't think I would enjoy. Obviously, you can't go wrong with the classics. Gyoza, takoyaki, okonomiyaki. But I think it's also good to try different things that you might not have experienced. Some of the things they said that I've never even heard of before. I think my favourite food in Japan has got to be gyudon, chashu ramen. I can't about it all the time. I've only tried conveyor sushi, so I can't say sushi actually. That's surprising. Everyone thinks that's the first answer, but it's actually not. Ochazuke, oyakudon, nekomama, tuna rice bowl, like tuna sashimi in Japan is just so different to where I live. Like, it's just worlds apart. Things that you can't get in your own country, like ramen, is not the same here. Tuna, like sashimi, is not the same here. Those things make the most impact because you just can't get them here. There are a few of my favorites. Okonomiyaki, I really need to try more okonomiyaki. I think I tried it once in Japan, and it was like a situation where we had to make our own okonomiyaki, which wasn't the best way to experience it. I feel like if you're gonna try it, it's good to have a professional, someone who's worked the craft years and years and knows how to do it, like serve it to you, how it's meant to be, how it's meant to taste. I think that's a way better experience. So yeah, I didn't really get the best experience, so I'd love to try more okonomiyaki as well. That's what foreigners love eating in Japan. These are the top foreigner approved foods. But what are your favorite dishes in Japan? If you have certain favorites, certain recommendations, let me know so I can try them. I'm really interested to know what you're gonna say. The thing that stands out in my mind to this day is obviously the sandos. Like, you can't get them here as good. Like, the sandwiches in Japan are just so generous with the filling. But there was this bowl I tried, and it had a lot of crab meat and those little fish eggs, like hodro, tobiko. Just a really simple bowl of seafood. It's just so refreshing. Seafood and fish in Japan are just so fresh and so tasty in comparison to here. That's the one thing that if I lived in Japan, I would appreciate so much, because here the fish is just not the same. You can't really eat raw fish here, which is completely different to Japan, right? They can get up for breakfast and have raw fish, and that is like so lucky. They don't understand. You don't understand how lucky you are. To just wake up and get fresh seafood like from a fish market would be the dream. That's it for today's video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this sort of content. Let me know if you want to see more like this. Mite kurete arigato. Bye bye. すいません。可愛くてごめん、生まれてきちゃってごめん。チョコレート、ちょいいかな。Oh, what's that chocolate? I keep craving that chocolate in Japan, and it's like a cube shape. Chocolate cubes, Japan. There it is. Oishii. Meiji chocolate. Oh.